For so long, like you're so amazing. I'm so.
Be the last time you get excited.
How do you know that it's real? I feel like it's just like I'm wrong.
It's just hard to explain. God.
I'd heard some rumors, reservoir ponds, and I don't know.
Fuck.
Summer boy worker.
I leave, but so it feels really. When I leave, I would just stop. Get at you.
Dude, no, Do you remember the...
I like looking at your face.
Secure about it.
Before?
The film opens as 18-year-old Elliott, Maisy Stella, is out on a motorboat with her two best friends, Ruthie, Maddie Ziegler, and Ro, Carice Brooks. It is Elliott's birthday and her family. Parents Kathy and Tom, Maria Dizia and Alan Goulam, and brothers Max and Spencer, Seth Isaac Johnson and Carter Trozzolo, is waiting for her to come home to cut a cake, but she joins her friends camping after hooking up with the local barista, Chelsea, Alexandria Rivera. The friends get shrooms from Ro's cousin and brew them into a tea for easier consumption. After a while, they start to trip out and dance. Ruthie and Ro do their own thing while Elliott finds herself sitting next to an older woman, Aubrey Plaza. She explains that she is Elliott at 39 years old, proving it by showing off a scar on her abdomen that she got as a child, and by knowing that they both have one breast that's larger than the other. Young Elliott is shocked even though she realizes she is tripping hard. Young Elliott asks her older self about her future and is miffed to learn that she is nearly 40 and is a med student. She also asks her older self if she can kiss her, to which she obliges. Older Elliott tells her young self to spend more time with her brothers and to not take her parents for granted. She also warns young Elliott to not be with someone named Chad. They fall asleep together. Elliott returns home in the morning with Ruthie and Ro. She is a bit passive with Kathy until she learned that she missed the birthday cake. Elliott later meets up with Chelsea again and hooks up with her in the boat by the lake. They fall asleep there, and Spencer comes to wake Elliott up since they have to do work on their farm. Later in the day, Elliott goes skinny dipping and finds a strange boy, Percy Hynes White, swimming nearby. He is polite with her and jokes around with Elliott until he tells her that his name is Chad. Elliott freaks out and swims away. She goes on her phone trying to contact her older self and finds her number listed as "My Old Ass." Elliott texts the number saying that she met Chad, and the number responds warning against it. Elliott later calls the number and hears her older self talking. She is once again cryptic about why Elliott cannot talk to Chad. Elliott later goes swimming again and runs into Chad since he works on the land over the summer. He manages to make her laugh and she appears charmed by him, but she gets worried again and leaves abruptly. When Elliott talks to her older self again, old-ass Elliott's voice suddenly gets sad and hangs up before saying anything else about Chad. Elliott starts spending more time with her brothers. She joins Max in golfing and bonds with him, while she also spends time with Spencer and watches Saoirse Ronan movies with him. Elliott is surprised to find her family eating breakfast with Chad after they learn he works there. After an awkward meal, Elliott tries to get out of it by going golfing with Max, but he invites Chad to join them. While out on the course, Max lets it slip that their parents are selling the farm. Elliott is upset even though she was not planning to inherit it, as it held emotional value to her. She vents about it to Tom, who also did not think that Elliott would care as much. She later talks to Chad about it while riding on his boat, and he offers his own perspective to make Elliott feel better. She then has them duck once they go under a bridge and they end up kissing, but Elliott panics again and leaves. Elliott tries to contact her older self but gets no responses. She goes back to Ro and asks for the rest of the shrooms. Ro joins Elliott in the woods as she trips out alone. Elliott ends up hallucinating that Chad is there and that she is Justin Bieber performing One Less Lonely Girl and gives Chad a flower the way Bieber would at his concerts. Before she gets ready to leave, Elliott spends time with Kathy outside their house overlooking the lake. Kathy shares a memory of Elliott when she was a child and how she would cradle her to sleep. Elliott then lovingly sits on Kathy's lap. The next day, Elliott talks to Ro and admits that she might be bisexual after developing feelings for Chad. She brings Ro and Ruthie to meet Chad as he is trying to sell his motorboat. After Elliott's friends leave, she joins Chad on the lake as they take the boat out, only for the motor to fall off into the lake while they are out there. They laugh about it and make it back to the docks, where Elliott admits to Chad, using a different guy's name, that she has feelings for him despite being told to stay away from him. They end up having sex. Chad brings Elliott back home. Emerging from the trees is older Elliott, who claims that she had to take a ton of drugs to physically appear before her younger self. Young Elliott says that she and Chad had sex and that she has genuinely fallen in love with him. Older Elliott finally admits that the reason she didn't want her younger self to go to Chad is because he eventually dies, and the grief is too much for her to bear. She also tells young Elliott that she cannot save Chad no matter how much she tries. Young Elliott decides that she will go on to love Chad, no matter what. Chad comes back and is able to see older Elliott, whom young Elliott refers to as her uncle. Chad sees that older Elliott is sad, so he gives her a hug, and she holds him for the first time in what feels like forever to her before she leaves. Elliott and Chad cement their relationship with a kiss. The film ends with Elliott taking a ride on the lake one last time before she is ready to leave. 18-year-old Elliott is set to go to college soon, leaving her family's farm behind after so long. While taking shrooms with her friends, Elliott hallucinates seeing her 39-year-old adult self. The older Elliott tries to give advice to her younger self, such as spending more time with her family before she leaves, and to avoid falling for a boy named Chad. Elliott starts to spend more time with her brothers Max and Spencer, while also trying to be a better daughter to their mother, Kathy. Elliott meets Chad, who is a nice boy that works over the summer near the farm. Despite her efforts to avoid him, as well as the fact that she has always believed she was purely a lesbian, Elliott falls in love with Chad, and he returns her feelings. Elliott is met by her older self again, who reveals that the reason she didn't want her younger self to see Chad again was because he dies, and the grief is too much for her to live through again. Young Elliott decides that she will love Chad no matter what happens. Chad appears to see older Elliott and hugs her when he sees that she is sad. Elliott takes one last ride on the lake before she says goodbye.
Really like you. I'm really
Very grateful for this moment with you.